Hello, and another very warm welcome to another Tuesdays at 2. Each Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I come on live to talk about a different topic relating to executive career management. This is episode number 188 of Tuesdays at 2. Today's topic is I have difficulty in articulating my accomplishments. I have difficulty in articulating my accomplishments. You're not alone. Many, there's a huge club globally out there that people have difficulty in knowing their value and knowing their accomplishments and then articulating their accomplishments both verbally and in on their resume and their or CV LinkedIn profile. If anybody's got any comments, please put them in the comments below, comments section, and I will answer them as I go through. So yeah, you're not alone. There are many people out there who cannot, and that's one wrong reason why I am in business, to help people articulate their promise of value, that who they are and what they can bring ABC company or XYZ company. People tend to be humble, and there's nothing wrong in being humble. And it also very, how can I put it, culturally based. So a lot of people in Southeast Asia, for instance, and certain parts of Europe, are very humble, and they don't want to toot their own horn. They don't want to blast it to the world. But you have to when you're in career management and you are in a job search, or you'll want the next promotion, you're looking for another new challenge, you have to get into the sales mode. You are a salesperson. You're not being humble, and you are going to be recruited, hired for your accomplishments, for your performance, how you deliver, whether you save the money, make the money, streamline operations, eliminate headcount, introduce new systems and processes, save them from bankruptcy. The list goes on and on and on. So you need to articulate those performances. You need to feel comfortable in your own soul and heart that you are articulating and telling the truth. Don't embellish, don't tell lies, but articulate your accomplishments. So you're going to be hired because of your performance, not generally today, as we were many years ago, because of your performance. You're going to be hired because you can perform, you can accomplish, you can deliver, you can achieve. So you need to get into that sales mode. You need to adjust. And introverts versus extroverts. Extroverts find it a lot easier. Introverts find it a lot harder. And there is some videos on my YouTube channel talking about how introverts can get into more of an extroverted mode. So it is tough. Yeah, I totally agree, and that's the reason why I help people get into the sales mode. I adjust their train of thought into knowing their value, because everybody has a value, and even the people who can articulate their accomplishments still underestimate their value. Everybody has a value out there, and in today's robust, very robust hiring across the world, there are plenty of jobs waiting for everybody watching online and in the replay. So you need to think of yourself as a product, that you're selling that product. That product is going to the market. The marketplace is your defined area within your job search. So define an area and then market the heck out of that area, because the bulk of the jobs, and there again, go to another YouTube video. There's plenty of YouTube videos in my YouTube channel and Tuesdays at 2, talking about how to uncover those hidden jobs, because that's the bulk of the jobs in the Western world. So you need to articulate your promise of value. You need to get into the sales mode. You need to think of yourself as a product and going to the market. And that product has a lot of value, believe you me. And so many people not just undersell themselves in their resume, but they undersell themselves when they come to salary negotiations and delivering or negotiating their salary, because you should be paid for your value. So you need to build your resume, your CV around an acronym. And this is what I've been using for many years as an executive resume writer. The STAR acronym: situation, task, action, result. So I don't call myself a resume or a CV writer anymore. I call myself a storyteller. So I tell stories based on my clients' successes, their accomplishments, built around that acronym: situation, task, action, result. And getting into that mode, situation, task, action, result, really helps you get into the sales mode. It transitions many of my clients from being very humble, not able to articulate who they are, what their accomplishments, etc., into more of a sales mode. So think of yourself as a product. They're sending that product to the market, and build your resume, your CV, and your LinkedIn profile. Have many accomplishments on your LinkedIn profile, because there are executive recruiters looking for talent as I speak right now, using LinkedIn. They don't have your resume or your CV, so you need to fully complete your LinkedIn profile. So tell stories based on the acronym STAR: situation, task, action, result. So those of you who can't articulate who you are, your accomplishments, you are not alone. There is a massive club out there, but try and transition from being humble to tooting your own horn and telling the world how much money you've made, how much money you've saved. You've introduced new processes. You've taken a company through IPO. You've resurrected a company. All sorts of different accomplishments can come from stars. And every one of you watching today has a number of stars, and many stars. The rule of thumb when you go write a resume is 1.5 star stories per year for the last 10 or 12 years. So try and pack them out at this end of your career, because that's the way we read resumes, from top to bottom, from your current job or your last job all the way through. So for the last 10 or 12, 13, 14 years, star, 1.5 star stories per year. And really, you might not have room on your resume, but just write them all out, and this will help you in the interview once you get into that star mode. So everybody is a star, in my view, but you need to articulate that star and tell the world that you are a star. If anybody wants a free, no obligation resume CV critique, I'm more than happy to offer that. Give you 30 minutes of my time for free. Let me just put my email on here. That's my email below there. More than happy to give you a 30-minute free, no obligation resume or CV critique. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. I operate globally. And if anybody wants a LinkedIn audit, I go through your LinkedIn, scroll down all the way, go give you some tips and tricks on how to build and deliver a better impact, and very important, capture that Google and LinkedIn algorithm to get you more traffic to your LinkedIn profile. So there's an offer for you: resume or CV critique and a LinkedIn audit. Plus, if you want more information on executive career management, go to my website, where there's over 600 videos on talking about different topics of executive career management. Please press the subscribe button and the bell button, where you will be notified of future videos to come. So every Tuesday there's a video, and I do 2 other videos per week, career tips for a crazy world, on Mondays and Fridays. So anybody got any questions? No, not today. That's okay. If any, I'm more than happy to give you those free resume critiques or LinkedIn audits, and please go to my YouTube channel. So hopefully I've helped you. Perhaps I planted some seeds in your mind that you need to go from being humble to being a little bit more bold and brazen, without embellishing, without telling lies, but tell a compelling story about your accomplishments. And one thing I forgot to mention: the more metrics, so dollar value, pound value, euro value, rupee value, Swiss franc or whatever, rubles, whatever currency you use in your particular country, and percentiles. You need to have as many metrics in there as you can articulate, because that's very, very important. We hire people because they're performers, not because of their responsibilities. So I will see you next week. My next week's Tuesdays at 2 is talking about, this is going to be very popular. How do I attract executive recruiters? How do I attract executive recruiters? Executive recruiters can play a huge role in your executive career management. So I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. for another Tuesdays at 2. But remember, do something this week to manage your career. Just go on LinkedIn and connect with a couple of people, or create a few posts and articulate your value to your next employer. You're all thought leaders, you're all experts, and you are all stars. I will see you next week for another Tuesdays at 2.